This is another 6-player fixed card play friends game on classic Risk map. The black and orange players are intermediates, the white and yellow players are masters, and the purple player is a grandmaster. Looking to the initial troop setup, it looked like it made the most sense for me to go for Europe, so this is why I fortified my troops there. Any other continent seems unlikely to be captured by me. Though Europe could be hard to capture and hold, so I wouldn't mind going for any other continent, if I get such an opportunity. So for now I left my army in the territory of Southern Europe and will see if like either South America or Africa gets wiped out for me. The white and orange players decided to send the alliance requests to me, which I gladly decided to accept. I haven't gotten any continent yet to get a strong position, so at this point of the game to have an alliance is good for me with everyone, so it would decrease the chances of me being the player who gets targeted. Though I wouldn't really like to be allied with absolutely everyone, as it wouldn't be as interesting. So with no player getting a continent or a strong position, personally I didn't send an alliance request for anyone, but accepted all of them which were sent my way. Of course these alliances are pretty much useless as of now, but I will see if any of them turns out to be beneficial later on in the game. And while I kinda feel neutral about the white player as of now, I do not really like that much the alliance with the orange player. With me going for Europe, he decided to send me the alliance request, which I accepted, and start going for Europe as well, the same continent I'm going for as well, so basically kick me out from my own continent. So it seems that was the reason for him to be allied with me. But I mean, I want to appear being friendly anyway, after all he is one of my 2 allies. And to be honest, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was initially planning to stay being in Europe until I get an opportunity to go for another continent or so. But with the white player going for Africa and with the purple player for South America, that was unlikely that I get any of those continents. But then I noticed that Australia has been pretty much left with not so many of other players' troops. And with the black player losing 2 troops while taking down the 2 troops territory of the purple player in Australia and only ending up being with an army of 6 troops in it, it was the moment I realized that I might actually have relatively good chances to reasonably steal Australia from the black player while not ending up being way too weak enough to successfully hold it. So because of that, because of seeing such a potential opportunity, I decided to leave Europe for the orange player and get out of it in good terms. So hopefully it will be appreciated by the orange player later on in the game, especially if he becomes the strongest player by holding Europe. And what I think is that the black player has become aware of a potential opportunity for me to try taking Australia from him, so this is why I assume he sent an alliance request for me. Which I decided not to respond to as of now, as most likely I will end up wiping him out from Australia. I've already been a good Samaritan for the orange player by giving him Europe, and then to be a good Samaritan once again to leave a continent for another player and end up being with no continent myself, I wouldn't like again. So with me getting so much lucky to be blessed having a set at 3 cards, I decided to definitely go with a reasonable opportunity to take Australia from the black player, and with me only losing 4 troops while crushing the black player's army of 9 troops, I think everything has gone so much better than expected, as now I think no other player could take Australia from me even if they have a 10 troop set at 3 cards. Even if they successfully blitzed my 18 troops army, I think they wouldn't end up having enough troops to properly guard Australia, so then Australia would just be given away for another player with both of us losing the game. I know that I'm playing with reasonable players, so I think I should be safe. The white player suggests me to attack the black player, and I think it really makes sense. If all of us makes efforts to crush the black player's troops around, then the black player could be eliminated before he even gets an opportunity to trade in his set, with us ending up in a 5-player situation. So I've just did my part of wiping the black player's troops from Asia. That's a bit unfortunate that the orange player didn't wipe out the black player from Asia or the purple player from South America, as then the white player would have probably taken the black player out, though on the other hand I understand that probably nobody wanted to give away the black player to someone else for 4 cards, probably expecting to wipe the black player out by themselves. And I mean, I don't have anything personal against the black player, he just ended up being the weakest and the most suitable target to eliminate next. And for the game to advance, the strongest players should be looking to gang up on the weakest players to get to the 3-player situation as soon as possible. The balance of the game could be sustained with just 3 players, and because of that all other players are kinda unnecessary for the game. So for the game not to stalemate, it's good to make mutually beneficial alliances and look forward to eliminate others as soon as possible as long as it's affordable. So always be wise about it. And with the black player staying alive and trading in a set, this is what the orange player gets. The orange player could have already had Europe captured by now, if he had wiped out the black player's troops back then. So just of course it's unknown if he actually successfully held it, but I mean besides me nobody had a continent captured, and while I was the only person who had a continent captured, the orange player was my ally. But alright, it seems the black player is moving out, so it's good for the orange player. Also, as you have noticed, I wiped out the purple player's troops from Asia, so with his all other troops being in South America, he would either prevent the white player from holding Africa, or the yellow player from holding North America, so the game wouldn't be that much stale, or in case if he turtled, then, with him not getting cards, he would be an easier target to get eliminated himself. The white player told me to attack the black player, and I mean yeah, I want to finally get rid of the 6th player. Though if the purple player doesn't wipe out back from North America, then maybe it would be worth waiting for one more turn so I could possibly fully eliminate the black player by myself getting his cards. So maybe yeah, maybe I will just wait for opportunity to eliminate the black player by myself like others did, rather than giving his cards for another player. I think that's unlikely for the black player to have a set at 3 cards, so just hopefully someone wipes his 3 troops out from North America. But yeah, the white player just eliminated the black player by himself, and I mean it doesn't really make much difference for me anyway, I just want that others would get eliminated and I would get to the 3-player situation as soon as possible. Now when the white player told me to attack orange, I wasn't looking to the screen and I missed who he wants to attack, only seeing thumbs ups and thumbs downs, but understanding that it was a suggestion to mutually team up on someone, I sent him thumbs up, as I thought that no matter which player it is, I will rather help the white player to attack him as it would lead us to the 3-player situation faster. And apparently that player he suggested me to attack was orange, which at one hand was unfortunate with the orange player being my only other one ally, but on the other hand at the same time it was fortunate as well, because the orange player had the biggest continent and it's unknown whether he would have played aggressively to help me out to eliminate other players from the game or not. And with him not retaliating to the white player, I assume more likely he would be of a passive player. And he doesn't even guard against the yellow player, while having his biggest army in Ukraine, which I will say puts the biggest pressure on me. So taking all of those aspects into account, I decided to help the white player out and crush the orange player's army in Asia, his Asian army rather than some European troops, so the orange player would be more mad on the white player with him crushing some troops in Europe rather than on me. But with the white player completely eliminating the orange player from the game, it's even better. I didn't expect him to do so, so I was very kindly surprised. That's actually so awesome that the 5th player got eliminated from the game and we ended up in a 4-player situation, so only one more player to go till the 3-player situation, which is hopefully not me. What I see is that by the yellow player neither invading white nor even guarding his border against him, I could assume that either the yellow player has an alliance with him or intends to be friends with him. And when it comes to purple, it seems he wants to attack white but is ally or intends to be friends with yellow. Or to be honest, another possible reason, which to be honest I didn't realize it while I was in the game, is that the purple player could have wanted to set me up for the 4-player situation Australian player trap. with the yellow player having North America and having his army in either Kamchatka or Alaska, with the white player capturing South America plus Africa putting his army in Middle East, and with the purple player himself holding Europe and having his army put in the territory of Ukraine. That would have been an ultimate trap for me as the Australian player in case my opponents would have set their troops up in my mentioned way. So that was very fortunate for me that they didn't. That was very fortunate for me that either the white player wasn't aware at the moment of this possibility as well, or just wanted to stick being in a strong alliance with me. Anyway, to be honest, I didn't really understand at the end which player the white player wanted me to attack, so I ended up invading both of them. I think it could be good to target both of them at once as they seem to be more of friends rather than enemies, even with the yellow player wiping out the purple player from South America last turn, but I mean the purple player had left it with no troops, so that hasn't really said much. Also, while neither I nor the purple player intended to be allies with each other, when it comes to yellow, he had sent me the alliance request at some point earlier in the game which I neither accepted nor declined because it wasn't the beginning of the game anymore, and I wanted to stay being loyal to the white player when he showed so much initiative for me to team up in a mutually beneficial way to get rid of our opponents one after another. And then getting to the 4-player situation, I still didn't decide to respond to the yellow player's alliance request, because getting to the 3-player situation I was really hoping to continue teaming up with white, so I didn't really want to make a fake alliance with the yellow player just to straightly target him later on if both of us getting to a 3-player situation. And now don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be kamikaze enough to crush the purple player in the next turn and very likely risking of being eliminated straightly next as well. The reason for me to fortify my Australian troops into Europe was because after the purple player got eliminated, I wouldn't have ended up staying being trapped in Australia, so my opponents couldn't pull the Australian player trap on me. With the purple player getting weakened enough, I was really putting big hopes into the white player to eliminate the purple player immediately, and this is what happened. The game continues in a 3-player situation without me getting trapped in Australia or so. So with the game getting to a 3-player situation, my plan is to continue being in a strong alliance with the white player and team up on yellow, especially when the yellow player just took Australia from me. And I mean, it makes sense for yellow to target me over white because one thing, I'm weaker than white, and another thing, I was attacking yellow more and after all ended up ignoring his alliance request. So I would understand the yellow player's intentions on possibly wanting to target me more over the white player. But now with the white player fortifying his biggest army next to yellow and sending a clear message to the yellow player that he is on my side, the yellow player shouldn't feel that good about the white player anymore either. To be honest, I'm not sure if they had an alliance or not. At some points it looked like they could potentially be allies, but at the end I'm not confident on that at all. Don't really actually much matter now when the white player is teaming up with me on yellow but not vice versa. Also, taking all of the alliances and loyalty away, another reason for me to target the yellow player over the white player after getting to the 3-player situation is because the yellow player was stronger than the white player. And as the weakest player you would like to team up with the second strongest player on the strongest player, so not to give away the game for the strongest player in case you would be teaming up with him. And as the strongest player you would probably like to team up with the second strongest player on the weakest player. What I see now is that the yellow and white player got pretty much even now. The white player has fewer troops, but he has 2 more cards than yellow, and then it is going to be white player's turn. So while I still want to team up with white, actually I shouldn't over-attack the yellow player because of not only doing the dirty work for the white player but also because of potentially putting myself in a risk of getting eliminated for the cards if I get too weak. And oh no guys, don't say that the white player is going to do what I think he is going to do. Don't you dare, white. But yeah, that's unfortunately a GG for me. I didn't see that coming. Well, I only noticed when he started capturing the European territories. What I should have done is unleash the yellow player's Australian army so the white player couldn't take me out. But with the white and yellow players being pretty much even the troop-wise, and with me having 28 troops army, I didn't expect the white player to take me out. I'm actually wondering to see how this endgame goes. If the yellow player had only one of his armies blocked, or if he had those troops in one army, then I would say he would win. But with the yellow player having two different armies blocked, I think the white player gets a decent chance. Especially when the yellow player fortified his smaller army instead of a bigger one, which led the white player of easily crushing it and recapturing all those continents again. So unless the yellow player has a set to break into some of these continents, I would say it's a white player's game. And as we can see, with the yellow player hasn't, the white player should come as a victor. Glorious. He will be victorious. Anyway, what happened is that the white player botted out, but then the yellow player left the game also. But at the end the white bot still crushed the yellow bot,